Alrighty, y'all. Let's check and see what the messages are for the collective. Relationship messages. What is the energy? What is the guidance? Where are you located in your relationship lessons? All right, Queen of Swords. And we're going to do past, present, future advice. Let's do that. Queen of Swords. So first card that came out was the Queen of Swords. You're guarded. Already, you're not with the bullshit. Like somebody, listen. Queen of Swords, when I see the Queen of Swords, think of the toughest female that you know who has gone through the most things in life and think of how wise she is because of all she's gone through. That's the Queen of Swords. She's been through some of the most difficult lessons. When she comes up, I know that whoever I'm speaking to, you've been through some tough stuff. And you do not tolerate a lot of BS because of that. And you can see BS coming a mile away because of that. All right? And so you off with their heads if they acting up. You see the sword? The sword of truth is there for a couple of reasons. All right. And so Queen of Swords energy already I can tell Aries, I'm about to say Aries. Why am I about to say Aries? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is what I'm thinking. This is that energy. It doesn't have to be that energy, but it does hold that energy, all right? And so you don't have to be that zodiac sign, but you are holding this energy of I'm open to receiving romantic sexual conversation, but watch your mouth and come correct and not in that order. You know what I'm saying? Like it's she's that. She's like, listen, I'm a queen, so I'm in my receptive. I'm open. But she's the kind of open that's like one wrong move and off with your head. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm open, but like enter at your own risk type open. She's that. And for good reason. She's not just being this way, something taught her that she needed to be this way. And so while you may be open to receiving communications about romantic relationships or conversation about it, people's advances towards you, while you might be open, you are also very much on guard at the very same time. All right. In a very masterful way, but also still on guard, which can make it very difficult to, get warm. It's not the warmest energy. And so you might find that you're cold right now. You are thawing, maybe even. This is the past energy, right? So maybe you are thawing at this point. We're going to see what the present energy is. But in the past, like the recent past, last week, last month, last year, you've been through a lot. You like, I'm not dealing with a lot more, if anything, and I will behead you before I let you play in my face. It's that kind of energy. Okay. But receiving communications. Nine of Swords, Four of Pentacles. Alright, so if you are receiving communications, like I said, you're still guarded. You're still guarded. For good reason. You've been through something difficult. Something that really has you feeling stuck in your thoughts, ruminating your thoughts. Could have to do with a marriage for some of you guys. Could have to do with some type of committed relationships. Doesn't have any marriage. But you do feel pretty stuck. But you're unsticking yourself. You have the Ace of Swords here. You are expanding and growing. So like I said, back to the beginning, you are in a receptive mode, but you're not receiving just any old thing. That's just what it is. That's what it is. You're not for it. Every time I look at this card, she's like, yeah, come on. You want to talk to me? Come on. What you got to say? That's the energy. Like, yeah, okay, speak your part. Go ahead. Tell me what you want. Like that. What? And yeah, that's that kind of energy, yeah. That's hilarious. I don't know why that came to my mind. I hope y'all not out here treating these people like that. Like, yeah, you like me? Oh, I'm pretty. Oh, come on. Come on, tell me what you want. What you want? What you want? Sex? What you want? Like that. That's okay. So right now energy. Six of Wands. All right. You can, like I said, you've been through something, all right, but you came out of it. With this Six of Wands, I know that you've had a victory. All right. You fought your way out of something. The thing you fought your way out of was mostly a mental prison or a mental hold, but you still had to activate hands. You know what I'm saying? Not literally, hopefully, but you still had to take action to get yourself out of a mental hold as it pertains to a relationship. Or many relationships, really. And so you are victorious. This is the card of victory. And it's card of movement. So I really love to see this too. This last week or so of the month and moving into the next few weeks, you are moving through whatever it is you came out of. You now you are moving through very meticulously. You are not just running forward. You are like, is that a landmine? Should I do that? Like, you're very particular very particular. And you're not putting your weapon down. You're like, yeah, I'm not relaxed around relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like vulnerable and like bearing it all for everybody, but we moving. I'm taking action to move through my relationship stuff. You know? There's that. Nine of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Some of you guys wish for companionship. You wish for partnership. You wish for a give and take, a reciprocal relationship. It's your wish. You wish for somebody fair, balanced. And you're trying to move yourself away from the idea that it doesn't exist for you. You're trying to trust the process. For some of you guys, you've been through so much that you almost are like is it really even out there? Like you might be lacking the not trusting the process of it all, or not trusting that what you're looking for is out there, what you're open to is out there. Okay, but you're open. You're still open. I like that. You're still open. Ish. You're still open-ish. Future card. Let's see. Future card. What's one future card for the collective as pertains to relationships? Future card. That's our future card. Let me grab that. Wish that wasn't our future card. Nine of Swords. More thinking, more sorting, more figuring out why you're so stressed, why you're so worried, why you doubt relationships, why you are so like figuring it out. Sorting through all the difficult thoughts, not emotions, thoughts, memories, stories you've told yourself, words you've fed yourself about relationships, mindsets. You know what I'm saying? Gosh. I'm thinking, oh, you're moving through it. You are. You're moving through getting through what you got, but you're moving towards releasing what you've been through. So it's like you're wrapping back around. You know, it's very Mercury energy, very Mercury retrograde energy. Like, let me wrap back around and review what I just went through. Let me go back through that and see that from a different view. That's what you will do that again. So whatever it is you've just come out of in this current Mercury retrograde, whatever you experienced all these last 3 or 4 weeks, and maybe some months before that, you will be reviewing it again. Outside of this Mercury retrograde, you will be reviewing this again. Advice. One card for advice. I just want to see one more thing. The Moon card. No clarity. Not enough clarity. All right, the Moon card. So this is your advice. Trust your instincts. Because what you see, smell, taste, touch, and hear will not necessarily validate what's right. Trust your instincts as it pertains to relationships, as it pertains to whether you're ready for a relationship. This is not this is not a person who is technically warm enough for a loving relationship, vulnerable and open enough for a loving relationship. There are no cup cards here, which suggests that, you know, as it pertains to relationships, you might take action. You know what I'm saying? Like an adult would take action, but you might not be giving your heart when you're taking that action. You understand? Okay? You might think about it. You might have good conversation. But there is no openness here. There's no trust here. There's no readiness here to emotionally connect to another person. It's not here. And I'm guessing it has to do with this Nine of Swords energy. You've been through something that pierced you, stressed you, cluttered you, consumed your mind, and you may still be sorting through that. You may still be, trying to clear that murky water up. And your advice is to trust your intuition, to trust your instincts as you navigate it. Tap into that inner knowing. As it pertains to relationships, you need to tap into your inner knowing, your instincts, your intuition. Don't always worry about what's logical, what looks good on paper. Don't always compare the new person or the new people to who hurt you. Clarification for the Moon card. Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Yeah. You about to start it. All right, so some of you guys, I don't know how, excited you'll be about this given these cards, but you have Page of Pentacles. You're already, this is a future card as advice. You're already laying the foundation for a new relationship of some sort. It could be platonic, but it's a love relationship either way. There's care there, basically. But it also could be romantic, sexual. Can't really tell here. For me, Healthy romantic sexual relationships always start platonic anyway. They always start as friendships. Even if they like it, yeah, I'm still interested. You still need to have a foundation of friendship. So either way, you are already building the foundation for having good relationship habits. You are maybe even studying, or like, how do I be in a good relationship? How do I stop choosing poor partner? Like, you might be even like researching that, googling, YouTubing that, like just studying that. You are laying the foundation for new habits, new routines, and maybe even a new relationship. It's unclear right now, but it doesn't matter what's coming in. What matters is the state of your mind and your heart when that thing or that person comes in. Are you ready to love on someone and be loved? Or are you going to mistake their love for um like it's not real? Like, oh, nobody loves somebody like this. It must be fake. They must be cheating. They must be, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna pick it apart? Because somebody actually did wrong you in that way. You literally have receipts where somebody did that to you. So you're like, is this that? But it might not be that. But it might be that. But see, if your pain is, if you're looking through your pain, you can't tell what it is. But if you're looking through the lens of your intuition, you can see exactly what this person is. Even if somebody else did something, you can see this person for their intentions and what they're doing. You see their patterns. All right. So your role here is to sort through whatever these difficult thoughts and memories were over these past several weeks or months or years. Sort through that, because some of that is muddying up your vision and you're not able to see clearly when you are in a very good relationship. And some of you guys are not able to see when you are in a very shitty relationship and you should have run to the border. You should have run immediately, you know? And so your sight is not as clear because whatever you went through, it changed you. It changed you. And some of it's for the better, but a lot of it is like it reprogrammed how you look at the world and how you look at love and how you look at relationships. And you're still not back to balance there. You're still working to get back to balance there, to get back to a place of trusting in love and life and the process. But you're good. You're at the beginning. So keep going. Let's see what August brings. I'm gonna try to jump on next week and do some August reading. So let's see what August brings. But you are wrapping up something, and so as we wrap up this Mercury retrograde energy, and we are still in the shadow phase this week, just use this time to continue to reflect on where you might legitimately be stuck in relationship trauma, and it may be stopping you from being able to have really healthy relationships in the future because you are so stuck in the past stuff. So check and see where you're stuck. All right, I'm gonna read you this oracle card. We have two of them. One of them is past life, so I'm not reading that because I'm not doing past life regressions. That's not happening right now. Free yourself. We're gonna read that one. Free yourself. But past life regression, somebody has a past life. If I was describing a situation, you like, and I was describing like past pain and hurt that really got you stuck, and somebody came to your mind, somebody popped up in your mind, like your parent, an old lover, an old friend who really traumatized your relationship, whoever popped up in your mind, more than likely you are needing to do some work around healing that, healing whatever they did to you, like making sense of it, making peace with it, learning the lesson of it, whatever. That whoever popped up in your head is the person who has you stuck. Okay? This says free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Like the unicorn in the image on this card, you may be feeling trapped. Perhaps you've relinquished control to someone else, or maybe you feel smothered in your career or relationship. As you tune into yourself, you will sense the specific areas where this message applies to you. You can even ask yourself, in what ways do I feel limited or constrained? Trust the process, or trust the answer, trust the process for sure, but trust the answers you receive. This card comes to you from the romance angels because they've heard your call for great love. To experience passion, you must first allow yourself to feel deep emotion. Not happening here. Like emotionless. Queen of Swords is like, my heart, I ain't even bring my heart with me. I don't even got it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like she that kind of like cold, like for good reason. It reminds me of, oh man, what was the movie I watched? Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time? Yeah, where they like did a remake of all the storybook stories, and it was like, they had like Snow White and the Evil Queen, and you know um Rumpelstiltskins. Yeah, yeah. But the queen, who was trying to kill Snow White, I remember her. She had the ability. And obviously, this was whimsical. She had the ability to take her heart out and bury it or put it somewhere else. So when she came to meet with somebody who was like maybe an enemy or an op, basically, and they tried to reach in her chest and grab her heart and steal it, which was the thing. I know that sounds bizarre, but follow me. They reach in there and it'd be empty. It's nothing there. And she's like, "What are you looking for?" You know what I'm saying? She would use it like as a little like gotcha, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the Queen of Swords. If you're thinking of somebody cold, a cold piece, you understand me? But not to be not to be fucked with. You know what I'm saying? Not to be messed with. Let me say that. I don't know if I can use certain words in here. Not to be messed with. Okay. Uh, and so when this says to experience passion, you must first allow yourself to feel deep emotion. Therein lies the rub with this particular moment. Your heart is under construction, or it's being guarded. Something. 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 Protected. In doing so, you may come up against areas of your life where you harbor discontent. You do have discontent. That has to be, you have to go back through that, figure that out. That's coming. Simply by acknowledging these areas, you bring light to the situation and you allow room for the angels to help. So simply by figuring out where your mind is stuck, where you have discontent, dissatisfaction, unhappiness, just figuring it out shines a light that can move the energy. So as you commit to taking back control of your life, your feelings will naturally thaw and reawaken. I knew there was a thawing going on here. Y'all thawing. I knew that. I love this. This leads to a greater capacity to love yourself and your partner and your experiences. All right. And so some of you guys, this reading resonates as you being in a couple, in a partnership. For some of you guys, this reading resonates more so with you and your singleness. Either way, there is a thawing happening and a thawing needed. And there is an emotional like resuscitate, like something needs to come back to, you know what I'm saying, back to life. But first, you must figure out what has you feeling stuck in the dead stuff. And your advice is to free yourself. All right, y'all. I'm gonna leave this here. Try to jump on next week. See if I can tap into what y'all going through in your relationships in August. So happy sorting and preparing the way. It does look like you guys are clearing out some of the weeds of the past in preparation for something that's going to be really beautiful and solid and just consistent coming in. All right, peace, loves.